And sound, I think. Hello, chat.
What's up?
This is Magic Fish Radio, and I'm not sure if all my new widgets work. And sound, I think. Oh wait. Hello, chat.
Sound is good.
I did not mute my own voice. That's on me now. Anyway, this is Magic Fish Radio. I am the producer, and I barely know what I'm doing. Yay. So if you've ever wanted to stream, you too can be a complete train wreck live in front of an audience of nerds. Yeah. That would look great on my tombstone. Oh, yay, the widgets are working. Anyway, Magic Fish Radio. Yeah, we stream tabletop RPG games on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Tonight is Chariot of the Gods, Alien the RPG, the module, a train wreck in space in 4 parts. In fact, we've already incited part of the train wreck by accidentally blowing up our own ship.
Wait, what?
Yeah, dude, I put up the VOD, dude.
I
I
like
thought we
to
told you
surprise.
this when we sat down.
We did tell
I
you
like
also.
to be
Yeah.
surprised.
What do you mean we can't just
We
go
blew
back
up
to
the ship. You're
Girl,
probably about to die.
I mean, it's 2-on-1. You should be fine.
It'll be fine.
Until all the cryopods open up and it's a miss. Anyway, this is a very interesting game and very effective because we're all super stressed out and we haven't even started playing yet. On Saturday, you can see me be slightly less stressed out running Exit to Eden, A World of Darkness in Space. Join our Discord for details on all of these other games so I don't have to announce them right now and we can get back to the carnage. Join our Discord. Oh, and I updated the Nightbot, so if it fucks up, that's why. Seems to work so far. Yeah, that's all I got. Just join the Discord. Join the Discord where everything I'm saying will actually make sense because I write it down and have an edit button. So over to GM John. Oh wait, channel points. I put that on the screen. You can buy stuff for the game with channel points instead of cash. We currently have 2 resource boosts. I have 2 story points. Dracus has 2 story points. Fennec has 1 story point. And I don't think anyone's purchased to kill an NPC yet.
We had some last week.
Or did we? Oh, did Fade?
We did, and John kept putting in corpses on the ship for us to find.
Oh, okay. Well, you can do that too. Maybe
How many of them were added not in the module? You'll never know unless you read the
Exactly.
Woohoo.
Not gonna read the module. I don't want to spoil the game.
module. No, I mean afterwards, dear. Afterwards.
Oh, that's fair.
And someone named the Fennec Wolfchild redeemed another beneficial resource boost. You know, just to test the system.
The system works.
The system works. So yeah, now over to GM John.
If you all find the resources that have been placed throughout the ship, yes. Because they have to be put in sensible locations.
It's not like Resident Evil where the dude just opens the trench coat.
Nothing about this is sensible.
You think there's a rando merchant who's been living on the Kronos for 73 years, waiting for someone to come round so he can spin round a corner. Got something that might interest you, stranger.
I mean, that's...
Flashing his coat open.
That sounds like a company man to me.
Yeah, it really does.
Have you met Weyland-Utoni? Or just Weyland, because this ship predates the merger?
Yep. Yes, I have. And the company agent is, spoiler alert, currently still alive. But also, not the creepo. So we're gonna move on from there. Yes, hello and welcome. Apologies for the late start, but hopefully we'll make up for it by keeping things interesting. To expedite things some, maybe we'll leave all of the personalized outros for the end as we just run through a quick our channel producer, Miss Chrysla, coming back as Davis, the ship's pilot. Fennec coming back as the courageous Captain Miller. Dracus as the fantastic Roughneck Rye. And then Joining us now after solving some technical issues, our man Zardoz here as the one, the only Cham, everyone's friend. But now, when last we left our players stuck aboard the Kronos after their own ship had been set to self-destruct by forces unknown, the crew have now divided them. The crew of the Montero have now scattered about trying to get the Kronos repaired, because the only way they're getting anywhere at this point is to get the Kronos working to hobble its way along to where it needs to be. Having dealt a biological outbreak and having gotten the engine reactor back online, starting things along their way, Captain Miller was rushing back to the mother units to try and shut things down and gain greater control. Davis and Company Agent Wilson were hanging out on the bridge, getting ready to get as much information as they could from command consoles. Rye had gone back to reassist Cham in the engine reactor, or in the reactor room rather, because the engines are technically on the sides of the ship. And when entering into the radiation control area, realized that a body that, or what they had deemed a body, slumped in the corner was not there any longer, and was now, after the wave of radiation heat from the leak that they had repaired had gone out and begun to thaw the once frozen entity, is now slowly sneaking up on our man Cham. And with a warning, Rye called out. And that is where we left off. So yes, Cham, you were there, working away, trying to get things under control, making sure power's going where it needs to go, trying to get life support online, making sure the reactor's not going to spring another radiation leak, because when you and Rye walked in, the little Geiger counters of warning on your suit started going whee all over the place. And it is the voice of your good friend Rye that you hear in a panicked cry. And as you turn around, you see a figure wearing one of the spacewalk suits that were aboard the Kronos. But the thing in this suit is not a person. It is this pale, bulbous, misshapen head, teeth extended and jagged and wrong, crisscrossing, eyes of solid black beginning to bulge from the sockets, claws where nails should be having grown out through the fingers of the glove. As it was moving up behind you and is startled by Rye's voice, and it too begins to turn before turning back around to you. And this is where we enter into our first combat using Alien the role-playing game. Now, Alien the role-playing game uses a very interesting initiative system, which I have already drawn, where you would normally take a deck of cards numbered 1 to 10, and you would shuffle them, and then people would draw from them. And unlike, say, Dungeons and Dragons, where getting the higher initiative works in your favor, you go sooner, you would want to get the lower initiative. The lower initiative, and it would work in chronological order, 1, 2, 3, etc. I've already drawn the initiatives in order to make life simple, because you all obviously can't pull the cards through Zoom.
I was like, I need a deck of cards now?
No.
Okay.
No, you don't, because, then you'd all wind up drawing 4s, and it's like, no, someone's got to draw again. So, going with the initiative, Rye, you drew the lowest at a 2. What would you like to do?
I picked up the bolt gun and cutting torch, so I think I'm gonna run up with that cutting torch and try to attack this thing.
Okay. So you are going to attempt.
How do I do that?
All right. Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. All right. So the cutting torch, I think the cutting torch counts as ranged combat. Let me double check that. I did update this in the resources page.
Okay. Then I will just run up to however close a range is, because I'm obviously not in that room making that determination, but
Except it apparently did not finish loading into the...
Oop.
No, it didn't finish loading into there. Because
And
of
Rye
course
dies
not.
of lag.
That's it. That's the end of the story right
End
there.
game. Bye, guys.
I would rather not have that personally. So yes.
The deadliest space enemy of all. Lag.
So yes, not the incinerator units. The
Processing
cutting torch.
power. The most important stat in any game. Processing.
Okay.
Good thing it's not a land
So the
party.
cutting torch, actually, because it's so short, would technically be considered a melee attack.
Okay.
Because the cutting torch isn't meant to be used at range; it's meant to be used against metal, like
That's
inches
what I
away.
thought.
Which makes sense. To be fair, that does make sense. So yes, to do a close combat check, you would roll your close combat dice, which for you, where is Rye? There
It's
is
just
Rye.
gonna
Rye
be
the
my
roughneck.
strength.
Yes, would just be your strength because you don't actually have any ranks in close combat.
And I have a +2 from the torch. Is that just a flat +2, or is it +2 dice?
That +2 is when using when making a heavy machinery check using
Okay.
the
Yup.
cutting torch, because the torch is more of a tool rather than a weapon.
And Drakus has 2 story points.
Yes, story points can be redeemed for an automatic success in a given instance.
Okay.
Could we argue the
Can I-
flesh of this unknown creature is heavy metal?
I was gonna say, can I declare that before or after my roll?
You have to declare you're using it before your roll.
Okay. I'm gonna take my chances on this roll.
Okay, so you will make your close combat check, and
Have one
then
success.
I need to roll the abominations
Oh,
defense,
that's a nice name.
which
It
is
might just be a
great-
placeholder name.
Mm,
Working title here, monster.
you're right.
It's-
You know, its
it's
name could be
not-
Steve.
You're
And we're
right.
being very rude to Steve.
By calling Steve an abomination.
Because we were secretly in Stranger Things this whole time. Which I also watched this week. And then found out,
That-
wait, that's not the whole season, and... Nerd whiplash.
No, it is not.
Nerd
waiting.
whiplash.
But at least in that instance, they told you when the second half of that season was coming, instead of when they would drop half a season of a show and I go, really?
But
Really?
But
So, yes,
where's the beef? Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Having rolled a single success in that instance, as you come up trying to use the cutting torch to attack, the creature in front of you turns around and manages to just sort of knock the cutting torch aside, not actually damaging you, but just sort of catching you with its forearm.
Yikes.
Which then brings us in the initiative order to the first of the abominations actions,
Oh, good.
because there are things called speed ratings that PCs and NPCs have, and this one has a speed rating of 2, which means it draws twice from the initiative pool. And it is at this point that it will... All right. I forgot about that. Criminy. No, thanks. And it will now turn on its... Yeah, it will... No, it knocked you out of the way. It's again, it seems really concerned with getting its claws into Cham for some reason. You're not registering as a major concern. So at this point, I need you, Cham, to roll me a close combat check, which again for you would be strength plus close combat, telling you how many die you would need to roll.
And what do I need to roll to succeed on this?
Just a 6. But you also have to roll your I was going to say, you also have to roll your stress die in addition to that, which, to be fair, you should have at least one stress because you turned around and saw coming at you. And there's been other stuff, but we'll just leave it at the one stress for now rather than calculating all the stress you should have had at this point, because we'll build more, trust me.
What happens if I roll a 6 on the stress die?
It is also a success. On a stress die, you need to be concerned about a 6 or a 1. 1 is bad. 6 is
Okay.
the only positive number you need to worry about when rolling a d6 for a skill check.
Okay, I got 2 successes on my skill check.
Okay. Which successfully bests your assailant? You are able to successfully block, and because you got 1 more success than necessary, you can perform a stunt. Now, one thing you can do with this stunt is to decrease damage taken, which you didn't do, or you can attempt a counterattack, where you can deal damage to the attacker equal to the damage rating of your weapon, which you didn't have a weapon drawn at the time, so it would.
I don't have a weapon.
Sham took a bolt gun and a cutting torch, same as Rye did, because these would be the tools of their trade in trying to fix things.
Okay.
So you technically have those as well. I will forward to you the information you need there. I thought I had before, but apparently I am mistaken.
That's okay.
So open you up.
Can I use a stunt to push it away from me?
Disarm. That's not one of the stunts listed, but
Can I disarm it?
sure,
Can
you
I
can
have
shove
one-
it back.
Can I take off one of its arms with a disarm?
If you had a weapon drawn, I would have said yes. That would have been an option. Cutting torches statistics are in there. Bolt gun is there, and there you go.
Okay.
Again, the bolt gun is really more of a tool, rather the cutting torch is more of a tool than a weapon. But the bolt gun definitely can function as a weapon. But the cutting torch is serviceable in this instance.
Perfectly serviceable.
Indeed. So yes, you come at this thing, it swipes and you're like, no bitch! And you give him a good hard shove in the stomach, which actually brings us to your turn in the initiative order.
I will push myself into a position between it and Rye and attempt to throw it away from the both of us with a giant big old punch.
Okay, so you now try to come back around while its footing's off, and then you want to like just shove it into the control console of the reactor.
I was going to go for an open wall space that doesn't have, like vital and important things on it.
I mean, you could like slam it into one of the coolant chambers or something like that. Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Okay.
So in this case would be just pure strength, close combat. And you're not looking to do damage at this point. You're looking to just go, fuck off.
I kind of like to do damage. Do I have to have a weapon to do damage?
I mean, it's certainly going to make it more effective dealing damage.
Okay. Well, we'll deal with that in a second after we get this thing, on the ground.
Mhm.
I have a talent called True Grit, which says I can push a skill roll based on strength. What does that mean?
When you push a skill roll, your ability is, if you roll a check, you can then opt to push, where you will take any die that did not succeed and re-roll them.
Okay.
But you also gain one more stress die when you do so.
Sure. I'll do that.
If you, I was going to say, if you happen to roll any face huggers or ones on your stress die on your initial roll, you cannot push a roll.
Okay.
Just something to remember going forward.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and roll that close combat check to, body slam this thing into a wall
All right.
and hope.
It gets to make its opposed close combat check.
Oh, and my stress die. I have no successes, and I rolled a 5 on my stress die.
Again, you only need to be concerned about 6s and 1s on your stress die.
Okay.
Like, again, the 6 is good, 1 is bad, and on regular die, 6 are the only thing you need to be concerned about. Usually failing a check isn't bad unless there would be a natural issue of something going wrong, i.e. you're trying to disarm a bomb. You get the check wrong, and the bomb goes off. But otherwise, it's like, I'm trying to fix the coffee maker. Well, I guess I didn't fix the coffee maker.
No, my face, coffee.
Yeah. Only if you rolled a couple of ones.
Damn it,
but
Keurig
yes,
was on
no.
loan.
Unfortunately for you, in the opposed roll, for those who are interested, the Beluga Head Abomination, which is its official name in this book, scored 2 successes.
Thought
Okay.
thought they were experimenting with mold. Now it's whales. What were they doing on this ship?
This is more a reference to what it looks like than anything else
Oh.
now. But yes, in this instance, we have a creature that now is going to counterattack against you. And the damage rating of its weapon, I need to double check this real quick, because I want to make sure you are taking the appropriate amount of damage and not something greater than you should. So yeah, you would wind up taking. Oh yeah, you would just wind up taking 1 damage from this attack, using its stunt dice to basically hit you and then sort of bat you away using its second stunt die. So you've taken 1 point of damage, and you are, yes.
Do I have armor?
The evac suits that you're wearing do provide some measure of armor. I will double check what those statistics actually are, because I don't remember off the top of my head. And I don't actually remember if that got shared into the group chat. Skills, your character.
It is known as legendary plot armor. It keeps us safe from all damage.
Suits and armor 92.
So says my terrible Gru impersonation.
Here we go. IRC Mark 35 pressure suits. Standard issue. Bulky. Maximum air supply of 4. And an armor rating of 5. So when you would take damage, you would roll your armor rating, which in your case would be 5 dice. And any successes you get, you would subtract from damage.
Okay. Screw you, dice. I rolled 4 6s and a 1.
Okay, but this is just regular skill dice, so it's just the 5 dice of your armor. Your panic doesn't apply here.
No. I was really hoping that I would get that on the punch roll and kill this thing.
Oh.
You weren't going to kill this thing rolling 2 successes. I hate to break it to you.
4.
Even with 4 successes. But yes, so you managed to sort of dodge out of the way of the initial slash, so it doesn't catch your suit and inflict any damage, but you do get knocked back into Rye. So you're both standing there still in your spacewalk suits, because no one's changed the air filters yet. The life support's only just come back online, and there's shit floating in the air. You're relatively certain you don't want to breathe, so nobody's attempted to take off their suits yet. And now it is, unfortunately, again, the Abomination's turn.
Again.
It gets to pull twice from the initiative pool. It pulled a 7 and a 9, neatly wrapping around Cham's 8. And that is 2 successes in its attempt to harm Cham. And in this instance, it will attempt to. All right. So it successfully pounces upon you, inflicting 1 damage, and you are currently knocked to the ground with it currently on top of you. And you must make me a panic roll.
Do I get to roll a pose check on that?
Oh, actually, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Close. Make me a close combat check, please.
Just checking.
No, that was my fault. That was entirely my fault.
Okay, so that happens because I didn't roll any successes on the 8 dice I rolled for this check. And I roll
So
a panic check. What is that?
So take all of the stress die that you have,
One.
which should be more than one, but we're just going with the one for right now. Roll it, and just double checking here. Roll one or more. Witness. Roll a d6. Add your current. Oh, roll a d6 and add your current stress level to it. So roll a d6 and then add 1.
2.
2. Okay. You managed to keep it together barely, but this thing is currently drooling on you, and it's not cold enough for the drool to freeze before hitting your helmet anymore, but it's definitely still doing that. Knocks to the ground. Panic roll. The abomination then starts pounding the victim with its powerful fists. This results in an immediate bonus action with 12 base dice, base damage of 2.
That's rude. I'm gonna roll my armor for that damage I took on the pounds.
Yes, roll to see if you took the damage for that on your
Alright,
pounds.
so I've taken 1 damage so far.
Okay. And 2, 3, 4 successes. So 1 was successful. So that's 5 damage of its giant fists pounding in on your chest and helmet as Rye stands by, just like, the hell? Why is this thing so fast?
I saved 2. So I've taken 4 damage from this attack so far.
Yes.
Cool.
Which brings us back around to Rye. This thing has leaped up on Cham and is beating the crap out of him.
Am I able to spend my turn informing everyone else of what's going on and asking for if the captain's gotten to Mother, if she has any information?
You can do that as a fast action. It's like, help, help, there's a thing here. It's attacking Cham. Hurry
Yeah.
the fuck up.
Monster alert! Monster alert!
Takes a terrified step back. I'm gonna be like, we've got a situation down here. There's a monster. It's attacking Cham. Do we know anything about this? And I can describe it if I've got time, but...
So you can, I'll say you'll have enough time to get on the comm and scream that, rather
Okay.
than, actually provide real intel on it.
Yeah.
During your turn, you have both a fast action and a slow action. Your fast actions are things like moving, or again, screaming into a radio. And your slow action is you punching, shooting, kicking.
Okay.
You can also take actions like aim, which would grant you some bonus dice on making a shot.
I don't have any ranged anything on me right now.
I mean, you've got your bolt gun.
It says it's short range, so is that not melee range?
No, melee would be personal.
Okay.
So
Then I will...
It's just that you only it's effective only like
a few
5
feet.
to 6 feet away,
Okay.
rather than
Okay, then I'll take aim with my bolt gun and try not to hit Cham.
Okay, so in that case, roll me a ranged attack roll. And I would say at this point, it's probably a little too busy to defend itself. Actually, it doesn't get a chance to defend
Is that
itself.
going to be an agility thing rather than a strength thing?
Ranged combat is agility, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, I have a ranged combat on this list.
Thank you, Ms. Chrysula, for buying a story point for
Oh, no, I don't.
Cham.
That's just my breakdown. Cool. Yeah, I'll actually just turn around and use that story point.
Well,
Okay.
the story point was for Cham. You already
Okay,
have, but
then
you have 2.
I will use one of
so-
my 2
Yeah.
to succeed on this.
Alright.
I don't want to hit my guy. The alien's doing plenty of that for me.
Yeah, no, it
Just for out of curiosity, what happens when I drop below my health score?
it depends on the attack received, you could either be put into a critical injury state or you could be killed.
Not relevant to anything that's happening right now.
Thank you, Fadier, for the beneficial resource boost. We have 4 of those now.
So yes, you roll. What did you roll to hit?
I still need to roll and I use a story point?
Yes.
Okay. Then I have 2 successes.
Okay. So that's 2 successes, and your bolt gun naturally did what again? Did not has a base damage of 3.
Yes.
So that would be 4 damage because you needed 1 success to hit in the first place. So yeah, you turn around, you point at it, and you go alakalam. And Cham, as you're wrestling with this thing pounding down on you, you watch as a chunk of its face is just torn clear off as Rye fires a bolt from a bolt gun, again, meant to bind metal to metal, ripping through, taking out part of its cheekbone and teeth, and goes clattering against the ground behind. It gets up, it is snarling and hissing, it is not having the time of its life, and has now decided that Rye needs to become its priority.
Uh-oh.
And so now it will attempt to... What would it do from this position? Yeah, it probably would. It's going to attempt an arm pull. It's going to... This is one of the actions that it can take. It is going to try and grab you and remove the arm that has the gun.
Oh boy.
Make me a close combat check to see if you can avoid having your arm removed.
Oh boy. That's a whole 3 successes. That's improbable.
It's certainly better than the one it rolled. So yes, you also then get to make use of your blocking stunt dice, which allow you to double check here. You can decrease the damage, which you obviously succeed in doing because the attack doesn't hit. You can attempt a counterattack. So you can, try to fire your bolt gun into its chest and deal its base 3 damage.
Let's do that.
Okay. So it comes at you, you block it with the gun, and you just go BAM! And again, Cham, you're on the ground as you just watch another bolt go flying overhead, surrounded by gore and ichor that come flying out of the back of this thing. It is now also your turn.
Could you quit shooting at the really, really fragile things in this room? As these things start bouncing off of various objects.
It can't go that hard.
I mean, it's already leaking radiation, so...
No, they managed to close that off.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna break anything we can't fix, except this fucking alien.
Yeah, they managed to close it off with like an hour and a half worth of work when you guys first got here.
I will attempt to cutting torch this thing into the ground.
Okay, roll me a close combat check with your cutting torch.
3 successes.
Oh, right. I should be rolling its attempt to block that.
Or just relent.
Yeah, just, succumb to the inevitable.
let it
Resistance is futile.
I am hitting it from behind.
Yes, you are, and it rolled only 1 success, so you succeed with 1 bonus die that you can use for a stunt. And stunts that you can make in this point would be something like, let me find the section here. Close combat. So you can attempt to inflict 1 additional point of damage. You can try to outmaneuver your enemy to jack their initiative score, which doesn't really help you much right now. You can attempt to knock it on its ass. You could attempt to pin your enemy, but that's probably not going to work super well for you at the moment.
Can I cut its leg off? My cutting torch?
If you do enough damage, absolutely.
Okay, well, I don't know what the base damage on this is, so...
The base damage on the cutting torch would be a 1.
Okay, so 1, I'll spend... And I got 1 extra success after I hit, so I'll spend it to do an extra point of damage, so I'll do 2.
Yep. That is 0 successes on the armor, so you jam that in there, and you jam it right into the ankle, you pull the trigger on the cutting torch, and you watch as fire seems to spread up inside this suit, and you go, oh, its O2 tank was still full. And you watch as it is engulfed in flames in probably the most horrific cosmic Ghost Rider you've ever seen. Cutting away to Captain Miller real quick. Miller, you're running, trying to get up there. Gotta get to mother. As your walkie opens up, and actually you're all in the same channel, so Wilson and Davis hear this as well. There's a monster! It's attacking Cham! Ah! Fuck! So yes, it flails about, swinging its arms, screaming. The two of you manage to get out of the way, and it is running around. It slams. It starts slamming into the walls. You can see that its eyes have now ruptured from the heat and are just oozing down its face in a black ichor. And it just starts running, charging, until it eventually slams into a low-hanging pipe so hard that you hear the skull crack and the neck snap as it breaks his own neck and falls to the ground. And it's about this point when you hear over the comms, emergency fire suppression system repaired, beginning anti-fire suppression. And then basically the anti-fire foam just starts spraying down from dispensers in the ceiling and covering this thing.
I no longer assume any of these auto messages are good, considering the last one was, stand by, we're blowing up your ship.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, this one was definitely coming from the Mother 2000 aboard this ship rather than your own, because your own Mother doesn't exist anymore. Wow, that was dark. It was not meant to sound that dark. It wasn't meant to sound that dark.
We are poor orphans. It feels like a Dickens tragedy.
In space.
Fadier asks, Fadier, don't give him ideas. Says, won't the foam mess with the motion sensors and the thermal sensors?
Oh, that's
it would
adorable.
have if we brought the motion sensors.
True. Yeah, we forgot those.
Yeah. And nobody's gone looking for motion trackers on the Kronos yet.
We were not, weirdly enough, we were not expecting monsters.
I just got here.
We were just playing what our characters expected, which was a dormant ship.
Yeah,
Okay.
dormant ship with an uncontained biohazard, not a monster.
This has nothing to do with the fact that we're sometimes idiots.
We were pretty sure it was, the 2020s plague that Weyland-Utoni was experimenting on.
It must be COVID.
Yeah.
This was a COVID ship.
I think it's still a little too recent here for that.
What's the rule? You got to give it 20 years?
Well, that's okay from their perspective. They've
No,
had
Well, first
100 and change.
First, COVID would actually have to end.
Yeah,
Good
I was
point.
just saying that this ship is still from the 2100s, so
Yeah.
it's theoretically just another illness that we deal with at this stage.
Oh.
Anyway,
Anyways, run to the motor and try and shut off the life support so none of these things live.
So you're climbing up through the junctions, and you're getting to the doors for the mother system, and as you try to get it open, access denied.
She tries again.
Access denied.
Wait, what isn't allowing her to access?
Mother, I'm not allowed in. she starts doing percussive maintenance on the door and swearing very loudly into the comm.
Yeah.
Motherfucking door!
And
Damn it!
as you are looking through, the door for Mother does have a plexiglass window here, or rather a clear window, and then at the end of the hall is another door with a clear window, and you can see that the chair that normally the captain would sit in when receiving notifications or contending with the Mother unit is swiveling slightly, indicating that there is someone in the chair. You can't see the figure. The back of the chair is to you, but someone is in there in the Mother chamber, currently in control of the system.
Fuck. Wilson, what's your goddamn code?
I beg your captain. What's this about a monster? And what's going on now?
Well, we're not alone, apparently. Rye and Cham are facing a monster, so if you two want to get your asses down there and help, that'd be great. There's someone in Mother locking me out.
I can come up and attempt my access code, of course. I'll be there shortly. Davis, will you be all right here by yourself?
Drop Davis off to the others,
No,
then get up here.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm just gonna stay here. I was gonna be here. It's fine. I'm fine.
Wilson,
Everything is okay. I'm gonna try. Can I bring up any like security feed monitors where I am? Because like I would like to see what it constitutes as a monster.
Well, it is a pile of goop.
Well, now it's a pile of goop, but presumably if the cameras were on, they would have recorded something?
That's a good
yes,
point.
I would say that there is probably a station here on the bridge where you would be able to access this, yes.
Okay, would that be
Comtact check.
I have 0 comtac, so that is a just straight wits.
Yep.
Which is a 3.
Don't forget your stress die.
Is that 3 plus my stress die, or 3 including my stress die?
Plus, the stress die add 2, unlike
Okay.
the hunger die and vampire where they
okay.
replace.
And I have 2 stress, so that's 2 stress dice. That is no successes! And a 1 on one of my skill check dice.
Again, the skill check
Okay.
die, it's fine. It's only the the stress die you need to be concerned about, the ones. So you're trying to get the feeds to go. It's like, oh, great. Apparently this one was completely organized by the chief security officer, so only they can get into this because they're the only ones who know which button actually activates what, because these markers are all wrong.
Yeah, I'm sure that the head of security did such a great job. Overall.
Cham and Rye.
I'm just gonna stay on the bridge. I'm just gonna stay on the bridge.
You're
Davis
both,
is going to pull out their Tamagotchi.
You are, to be fair, those did see a big resurgence in the 2090s. So yes, Cham and Rye back in the reactor. That was quite a harrowing experience.
Actually, no, I'm not playing with the Tamagotchi. I am trying to get the systems up and running, and if security won't talk to me, well, I want to see what else is there, because this is at least 100-year-old ship, which I'm not sure how familiar I am with it, since it predates Weyland-Utoni.
A lot of the material is still very much the same. Like maybe there are some better circuit boards here, some better switches there, but all in all, the tech is, the interfaces are all pretty familiar to you for the most part.
Okay. Mostly I'm looking for an excuse to not leave the bridge.
Actually, you know what?
Trying to get the bridge to work.
That actually raises a very good point, and that was a misstep on my part. You should have just been able to activate the security feed without the Comtech check. That is my fault, because I keep forgetting that this system goes, hey, only make skill checks when they're absolutely necessary, not at like every possible opportunity to, try and show off how good your character is at something, because this isn't D&D.
Okay, so
or Vampire. So
can I turn on the camera? Can I turn on the monitors?
You should have been able to do that. That was a fuck up on my part. Again, important thing, if one of you wants to run the alien system, if it's something they should be able to do, just let it happen. I forgot that. That's my bad.
Okay.
So yes, you are able to get.
Yeah, because it's kind of counterintuitive to put a password lock on the security feeds.
Yeah. So there are no cameras actually in the reactor room itself, but there is a camera in that, in the room just before that comes off of the hallway. And you're able to rewind. And as you're rewinding, you rewind this figure that had entered a short while before Rye did, and rewind it to being slumped in the corner. And then when you press play, you just watch it slowly starting to thaw out from the radiation leak that was now warming up its long frozen bones. And you watch it slowly, crackingly stands up and looks around, and then takes notice of what you would assume to be Cham in the reactor room, and then you watch it just slowly.
Am I able to see through its mask at any point and see the fucked upness?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so don't eat the mushrooms. Record.
Yep. So Wilson comes up to you a little out of breath. Terribly sorry, Captain. And he tries to swipe his access card through. Access denied. Oh, that shouldn't happen. Access denied.
Are there any cameras in the mother chamber?
No, there are not. Generally, because anything that will be played in the mother's chamber is captain's eyes only, or is like terribly important and is protected information, so it's not something that would normally be caught on signal.
Is there a camera near the other door to this chamber so I could maybe see in and what's in the chair?
No, but there are cameras in the hallway leading up to the first door in the protection hallway that leads into the mother system, so you can attempt to use those.
Okay. Zip, 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 zip.
So you're scrolling around, you're looking through, and you're like, okay, that's where they come out. Okay, fast forward. And as you're fast forwarding through, there's a bit where the cameras go kind of wonky and then stop. You rewind and play again. And there's a point after the captain had left initially and then started running around doing other things, where the cameras in the hallway blitz out for a period of about 5 or 6 seconds before kicking back on.
So, Captain goes to the mother chamber, runs back for a bit, and in that time, weirdness happens, and then suddenly there's someone in the chamber.
Yeah.
Okay, I relate this to the captain. Cap, on the upside, whatever's in there isn't a century old. Downside, it might be another monster. Captain, I can't hear you, Captain! Captain!
The walkie's muted, Captain.
God.
Captain, push the red button! The red button, Captain!
No, Davis, that's not very nice. You know that the captain's colorblind.
I don't even have a comms rating. How do I know to push the red button? Anyway,
right.
There might be a monster in the room.
Captain broke from the stress. She'll just sigh, press the button. Can you patch me into Mother's room?
That's not how that works. It's kind of the other way around. I dare say, I would assume that whoever futzed with the camera feed did it from in the mother chamber. GM, is that safe to assume? Or safe to surmise?
It's a possibility.
If I slow down the fuzzy 6 seconds, is it just, like, static?
Just pure static.
Okay. I would like to then follow the cameras to the adjoining, corridors to that area.
Okay.
For a few moments and see if I can, or if the same timestamp is also fuzzed out on those, or you know, ongoing timestamps.
It is definitely a case of ongoing timestamps.
Okay.
There are points in time where things cut out. There is a point where on deck D, when you guys came into the vehicle bay, where there was a bit of static on all of the cameras on that level.
Huh.
And then there's no issues until about 7 or 8 minutes later, when something cuts out on deck A. Most notably, all of the cameras in one hallway between two doors leading into the hallway that leads to the mother chamber.
Huh. I'm gonna look back at the cryo chamber, or the cryo bays. Are all the ones... Well, they're starting to open, but are any of them open that weren't when I looked at them last?
So when you go to the life support monitor, which is on the bridge, you see that all of the unoccupied pods are open.
Mm-hmm.
But the 5 pods that were occupied by people are still closed. They apparently have had a secondary measure put in to keep them closed, which was for the best, because that black gunk that the captain had seen has apparently spread out and started to nestle and cling to everything.
Because the air scrubbers are... Okay, so the cryopods are not about to open.
Not those 5 anyway.
Okay. But there was at least one that was full of black stuff, and...
Which jettisoned out violently.
That's what happened. Okay.
Yes.
Do the timestamps start before that happened? Or after? Or no, you said they started before, because they started as soon as we got onto the ship.
Yep.
So, us hopping in woke something up, presumably. Speculation.
Yeah.
Captain's just grumbling, trying to think. Okay, new plan. Davis, how much can you get out of the system? What they were working on and everything.
GM, I'm going to...
If you attempt to try looking up that, you'll see that that all of that is protected in either the science lab stations or maybe the med lab stations. What would you be able to find there, actually, now that I think about it?
Well, the personnel files and...
Yeah,
but we had
that's actually a point.
We had all that from the previous, when we looked long distance.
So the life support monitor does confirm the 5 names that were on the pods as being the 5 only. There actually is a 6th crew member listed, but their status is unclear. They are listed as Ava 6, which was a synthetic that was a part of the crew.
I think I know where they are, but...
But other than that, it looks like everything having to deal with the research here would have been cataloged and locked in either one of the science labs or maybe the med lab, because there were reports of people having been taken to the med lab after fits of hyperaggression or chills or profuse bleeding from orifices that are coming up when you're looking at the security terminal, or when you're looking up through the life support monitor records of people, where everything's just listing. It's like broke fever at X time, X date, began to violently attack crew members. Crew member X wound up biting out the throat of crew member Y.
Okay, so is the security chief one of the survivors?
Yes, they are.
Okay. What was the full complement of this ship?
The ship can
Supposed to be, or what? How many people were on? Did we think might be on this ship when we scanned from the other ship?
this ship can have a crew as high of 30, but the complement that was recorded as being on it was 17.
And now there's 5 left, so 12 people mutated and or died.
Well, again, there is a listing for Ava 6, but it's not reading her as active, but it's not reading her as deactivated. It's an unclear prompt.
Okay. So, are you telling me that these cameras were on since before we got on the ship and turned it back on? That they were running on some sort of emergency power?
They wound up cutting out for a good long while when the Chronos started shutting off power as it went into dormancy, drifting through space for 7 decades.
Okay.
But they were definitely running for a while, and certainly during the catastrophe, if you want to sit there and rewind and run the risk of putting on stress. Is the extra stress worth the knowledge?
Okay, I turned on comms. All right, where is everyone in the ship right now?
We'll cut back to Cham and Rye real quick as that's coming over. The two of you are staring at this now whipped cream mound on top of your deformed assailant.
I'm gonna pick up my dropped torch and kind of prod at it, make sure it's dead.
It certainly isn't moving.
Because we were wrong before.
It was just hibernating before.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there is something I want. How much life support do we have left on this ship before repairs? Because like all of that is broken.
O2 is shot. Okay. You need to replace those scrubbers if you're going to get any sort of air in here.
Right. So would the scrubbers supposedly take all the evil mold out of the air?
They would certainly decrease the concentration radically.
Okay.
I have ideas, but go back to poking alien corpse.
Poking alien corpse. A very safe and responsible thing to do after it just tried to murder us, but you know.
Cap, I could probably poke around and see if I can find security feeds from when all this shit went down. I don't know if I have the stomach for it right now, but I could do it. Or should we focus on repairing things first before we run out of air and have to take our vac suits off? Because I really don't want to take my suit off.
Where are the O2 scrubbers?
You can access the air scrubbers from various ventilation systems throughout the ship, but you would need to replace the scrubbers on all 4 decks.
Right.
If Cham and Rye were to work together on it and made sufficient checks,
yeah,
you two could probably clear it out in reasonably 3 to 4 hours. If you roll really well, you could probably knock that time down to anywhere to like 2 to an hour and a half. But that's assuming you roll really well, meaning you are just like super efficient.
Yeah. So here's Captain's side. So she's gonna come over. Right. Here's the idea. Either we get the ship up and running, we get it back to a port, and we let whoever the fuck there deal with whoever in mother, and we just keep ourselves alive. Or we take everything we can get from the computers, find a pod, get the fuck out.
Are there any life pods on this ship?
When you go in to check, and it brings up the image of the state of the ship, you're noticing that all of the standard complement of escape pods have been launched.
Oh, shit. So that might be where other members of the 12 went.
Oh no, they are definitely listed as deceased.
Oh, okay. All 12 other people aside from the robot are deceased.
All 11 other crewmates are deceased.
Yeah, because 5 are still in the pods that we didn't open. And then the android, who's I'm thinking is just hammocking around in the computer room. But that's just paranoia. All right. Right. So I'm assuming Davis relays there's no more escape pods.
Yeah, there's no more escape pods.
Right. Cham, Rye, start working on the scrubbers. Try and get whatever this shit is out of here so we don't turn into whatever the fuck is on this thing. Davis.
So was that a thing that, do we know if that was a thing that was a person once and turned into that? That's something we should be afraid of.
Not helpful.
I know, John. I'm asking that in character of my other teammates who may or may not have information that I don't know.
I mean,
look,
was there another? Wilson... There was a guy in a. There was a body in a suit that had blown its own head off.
Which was the one that got up and did the...
No. This was
different.
In the cryo? Yeah, was it the med bay or the cryo bay?
There was a person you came across in one of the hallways.
One of the hallways.
Who had
right.
It was just before the cryo bays.
And it seemed like his limbs were kind of too long.
His body had begun to deform, and it looked like that the figure had committed suicide by shotgun.
Yeah, so I think that was once a human being. And that this is what the black stuff in the air does to human beings, so...
Given those two things, yeah, we probably ought to get the things cleared up, and we should be afraid of turning into one of those.
Yep.
Right now, everybody keep your suits on.
Wasn't planning on doing anything different.
GM?
Wilson and I will see if we can't find more air.
How long can we just keep wearing our suits without, suffocating?
The way consumables are used in the alien system is normally only when you make a panic roll, which actually I should have made you do, but we'll skip that for now because it was my own fault. When you would make a panic roll, you would then roll for the expendable resource that was either related to that or would be something that you would have been using at the time. So, for example, you have an air rating of 5 on your suit. And after you enter into a panic, you would roll your stress die, 1, 2, 3, 4 dice, whatever it is. Anything that comes up a face hugger then consumes that number of your resource. So you could presumably burn through 3/5 of your oxygen having a hyperventilating panic attack or having accidentally hit the valve that would normally allow the tank to be refilled with oxygen. So you're just spraying O2 out into the air, and you lose a decent amount of oxygen before you're able to close it back up. Or you missed you were firing your gun at this approaching enemy, but you panicked and you unloaded the whole clip. Shit! Reload. And that's how it would keep track of this. There's not necessarily a case of I have 3 hours of air, I have 7 rounds, but you know that you cannot stay in these indefinitely. If I was going to assign it, assuming nothing went wrong with these suits, considering how long you might have to do work outside of the ship to get something repaired, I'd say you probably got another good 6, maybe 7 hours of air before something starts going wrong.
So we got to get the scrubbers up, because even if we find more air to refill it, it's just going to run out eventually. Okay. Right. I know we don't want to get these off. Like I said, Wilson and I will go look for more air to buy us as much time as we can in the suits.
Meanwhile,
we gotta get the scrubbers up.
We can't discount the possibility that there's already a saboteur on board. Because otherwise, who the fuck, where's the android person, and where...
Who the fuck's in Mother?
Who's in Mother, and who set our ship to self-destruct?
Oh, while Wilson and I are looking for air, we'll see what the fuck, if we can't find what they were working on and more information.
Because at first I thought maybe it's a really evil virus or something, or some kind of weird automatic protocol by whatever mad scientist caused this bullshit. But, like, if the android is unaccounted for...
Well, if it's anything like Prometheus...
You were saying, Wilson?
No, by all means, go first.
No, I'm done.
Nope. Come on.
Captain, there's one possibility you may want to look into. If you get back to the bridge or even into the old captain's office, you might be able to use your authorization to access the captain's log or the XO's log or even the chief medical officer's log and see if you can pick up something that might have been going on here.
Worth a shot. May as well start there and then we'll look for everything else. Everybody clear?
Okay. Yep.
I mean,
I don't want to look at the video footage, but...
I don't... That last resort, Davis.
Yeah. Logs first.
If I remember the schematics correctly, the EVA suit room is actually not far from the bridge. So I can probably just run those back and forth real quickly myself if I find any available oxygen tanks there. Unless you want to help me so that we minimize the number of trips we take.
I'll help you. We'll minimize the number of trips, put them in with Davis. Bridge is our central point for everybody to meet up.
All right. So you all...
GM, is the bridge full of mold too?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good.
The bridge had been sealed off.
Bridge is safe.
For now.
Saboteur!
Impostore! All right. But yeah, Captain will help Wilson move it. Sorry about your cat.
So you all make it into into vestibule 2, the EVA suit. When you come down the ladder and get to deck B, which is the one level below where you were, you have the 3 doors that lead out. One that goes to the bow of the ship and would take you to the bridge, and then you have the ones to the left and right that would take you out. And you head through the doors, cross the hallway into vestibule B, and you are immediately greeted by the cold vacuum of space. Because this is where there was the breach in the ship.
Yeah.
So
where you guys had
air.
Actually,
tanks
that
at
reminds me, you guys had started to establish atmosphere, meaning that there would be a suction at this point.
Oh, goody.
So I'm going to need you and Wilson to both roll me. What would these be? This would be. I will accept either close combat stamina or agility mobility.
Why did I close my sheet from last week? I should have just left it up. You said close combat or agility?
Either strength stamina or agility mobility.
Okay. 4 plus 2 stress die. Son of a bitch. That is no successes with a failure on the stress die.
Surprise.
Nice
You and
knowing you.
you and Wilson, both having forgotten where the breach in the ship was and where that went into the schematics, the doors open and you are both sucked out into the vacuum of space because he rolled no successes as well.
We just lost the captain?
Uh-oh.
As you are both being spat out through this room,
Help.
make me a wit survival check to see if you're able to grab onto something before you are completely ejected into the starry night.
Fennec, you have a story point.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Use
burn
it.
that to succeed.
And so does Wilson. He rolled one
just-
success. So you are both
presses with chin. Help! 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 Help!
And you both
Space!
manage to eventually climb against the vacuum back inside. And it's really frustrating because you can see a lot of the EVA suits are still inside their capsules. And potentially there's at least an O2 tank in each of them. But you can't get them right
This
now.
bullshit! Fuck!
Finally
Weyland-Utoni!
climb back inside and slam the emergency lock. Incidentally, Davis, when the door is opened to the EVA room, notifications start going off. And actually, Cham and Rai, you hear this too. An emergency klaxon starts going off.
Do we have a problem?
Yeah, Captain, you remember how there's a breach in the side of the ship?
Yeah.
The captain forgot which part was breached, and that was where the EVA suits were. And I don't know if the captain is okay. Or
Captain?
Wilson. Captain?
Wilson!
She's just
Captain!
laying on the ground, finger
You there?
up.
Captain, red button!
We managed to make it back inside. That was
Thank fuck.
terrible.
I don't suppose
All
you
right.
managed to vent some of the black mold.
Wasn't really focusing on that, but I
That's
think
fair.
so.
Okay.
There's just grumbled swearing from that you can probably hear through
Just gonna
Wilson's
mutter,
mic.
not over the comms, but to Cham. How the fuck do you forget where the ship blew up?
Incidentally, Miller, take a point of stress.
I'm up to 3, that's fine. This is fine.
Okay. So,
I just work here.
Captain, maybe this time we activate the magnetic clamps on the boots before we open the door.
Also, maybe we should seal up the nearby hallway so we don't vent any more air.
Yeah, good
That would
plan.
probably be for the best.
Why aren't you captain?
Because it's your name on the lease.
Because it's your name on the lease, and it's hard to get a lease for a ship when you have ADHD on your file.
That's fair. Oh, fuck it. Up we go.
So as you two are readying yourselves,
I'm basically only good at my job when I'm stressed out, and that is justifiably not sustainable.
so you try to lock down the U-shaped hallway that is just behind the bridge where the access to these sections are. And as you're looking at the map and closing off all the doors in there to avoid venting too much air, you are now reminded of what Vestibule 1 is on the Kronos, and that is the armory.
Right. We should
Yes.
probably raid that too. She points to armory sign.
I think it's actually on the other side of the U, so I'm saying that Davis is noticing this as they're closing things off from the bridge.
Got it.
Yeah.
Flick, flick. Flick, flick.
So yes, you
Like
and
turning
Wilson
off the water mains. Just turn off the oxygen. Turn off the okay.
Yep. You and Wilson slam down your magnetic boots. The doors open. There's as what air is left in the, or what atmosphere in the hallway is ejected. Clump. Like, these things are not the easiest thing to move in to begin with, but now you've got to do
I'd rather not go flying in
Yeah.
space.
But now you have to do the very specific step in order to properly engage and disengage the magnets as you walk through. As you're opening up the what cabinets are left, you're able to get your hands on 7 full O2 tanks. That'll give you an oxygen rating of 4 each.
Take it.
So you're able to secure those. They're quite heavy, so it takes a couple trips to get them in. Close that up behind you. Davis, we're in. You can unlock the halls now.
I check the cameras to make sure all the doors are closed and...
Yes, they closed the one door behind them, so it's just a matter of unsealing that hallway so they can, get to you with the goods.
All right.
Nothing followed us.
All right.
Oh, god
so
damn
you're
it.
going.
Just the way he hesitated it, he's like,
So Chairman Rai, at this point, you two have gone back down to Deck D in order to acquire the pieces necessary to repair the air scrubbers, and and you can climb into the ventilation system here on Deck D and use that to climb your way up, or you can climb up to Deck C and actually start by accessing the ventilation chamber proper and then climbing up within there.
You're the technician.
Oh. I was gonna say, I think starting in the ventilation chamber is probably better in case that there is some sort of other issue,
like
in that central unit.
like another monster.
Hopefully not.
Okay.
If you see
Us.
a seemingly unoccupied spacesuit, please do not go in, and we will deal with that first.
So you go down, you access replacement scrubbers from the storage containment down there, which you didn't think to take with you because those things are bulky as shit. Why would you?
We could just go back, right? Right.
Yeah.
See
So
how that worked out for us.
and again, the air scrubbers are they're just rattling about with these full scrubbers, and it's making it's just noisy as hell, and it's radiating throughout all the ventilation ducts, and it's echoing up and down throughout the whole ship.
Can I turn them off so that my people can or our people can work on them without, problems?
Going deaf.
Or do they do that from their location?
You can shut down the air scrubbers from the life support station. Yes.
Okay. Kick. Because the noise, damn it. The noise.
Did you warn us before doing that?
Yeah,
Okay. Because
okay.
these things are shut down. I'm gonna be like, we just broke something.
Yeah.
No, I would have done that while they were getting the parts, and then go, okay, I turned off the air scrubbers so you won't get crushed to death. I don't remember how air scrubbers work, but I'm assuming crushing is an option.
Sure.
How else could it make those noises?
Listen, it can't be any more stupid than us forgetting where the hole was. It's fine.
I think we need to get on a different ship if we survive this.
Well, we had one.
Yeah.
And
This
something.
is over comms. This is just the two of us.
Yeah.
We had one.
We're shit talking you behind your back because this is alien and we
I'm
can.
kidding.
So
Miller expects this.
We need to get out of this ship because they're going to get us killed.
Even if we survive and we get paid really well, it is not worth this shit.
We're going to die here. You know that, right?
I hope not.
We're expendable. I literally turned wrench. You fix things.
Not to us.
Neither
Let's
one of us
go.
is a captain.
Do our best to survive, right?
Okay. So, while this conversation is going on, and we backtracked a little bit for you to get up and down there, hearing the klaxons go off, Miller and Wilson have brought in the O2 tanks and then head over to the Vestibule 1 Armory section in order to see what might still be there.
Okay, so there's nothing behind us then. Good job.
Not yet.
Yeah, I'm watching the cameras now because there's monsters.
Eye in the sky.
So you head over to the armory, and this one is key pass locked, which would be standard practice. It would only be the chief of security or the captain that would have authorization to get in here, or potentially a Weyland Corpo who is present. Your captain ID is accepted to get the door open, and you step inside, and inside the armory is a disturbing lack of armaments.
Yeah, I'm not surprised given monsters. 12
uh,
crew dead. Yeah.
You know,
So
I don't know what I was expecting, but I should have been expecting this.
as you're looking around, all of the cabinets in which things would have been locked have been opened, and the weapons are either missing or the weapons are present but damaged. Some look as though they have been clawed or bitten through, and some of them look as though they have been melted partially by acid, leaving them useless. There is one footlocker in the far wall that actually has spray painted on it in stencil, property of I've forgotten the name of the chief security officer, but it's property of the chief security officer. All violators will be shot and then vented.
Too late.
All right.
Well, no, the chief security officer is in cryo, so he might still have an issue to say.
Well, no, but I mean, the captain's already been vented today.
Yeah. She'll just shake her head. Can she pick up one of the like broken weapons, like an improvised club, and go to like use it to try and open the locker? Because
that would be necessary, because this one's actually held shut with a good old-fashioned padlock. No hacking here, and people have long forgotten how to pick keyholes like this. So yeah, if you wanted to bust this open, this would be I'd call it a strength heavy machinery check.
oh goody. I at least have 4 strength. I also have 4 stress die. Okay, I'm trying to remember. It's 6s are only count as successes, right?
Yes.
Okay, 0 successes on everything.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm not liking this system.
I think it's appropriately harsh for the subject
True.
matter.
I was gonna say it fits for the narratively the system fits.
We're all supposed
As
to
a player, I get a little frustrated.
Yeah.
But that's also the name of the game.
So yeah, no, you can't seem to catch it in there correctly to get inside.
Kicks it with a boot. Then spends the next like 2 minutes trying to get the magnetic boot off the footlocker.
Perhaps we can have Rai or Cham come in here when they're done fixing the air scrubbers. I believe each of them had a cutting torch. They should be able to cut through this lock.
Or I'm assuming it has handles.
Actually, it's not welded, but it's part of the floor, like it's secured in position. But the chief security officer went, "This is mine. It contains my shit. You will not touch my shit. I am stenciling it with express directions that you do not touch what is mine."
Just
Should I leave him a package of crayons?
We could just not open his chamber. Ever. We'll sort it out when we all wake up in a month. Maybe. Hopefully.
If she'll just
shoot him with his own gun before he wakes up.
Maybe
just kidding.
Maybe be careful with welding torch in case there's an incendiary device in there.
Yeah. She'll just pop on the comm. Champ, Bride, got a sec?
No, not really.
That reminds me, Cham, Rai, make me a heavy machinery check to see how well you're handling this. Actually, no, I take it back. Whichever one of you wants to make a heavy machinery check, because you will be working together, and because one of you is helping you add the +1 die.
What is your heavy machinery score plus strength?
I have a 5 overall.
I have an 8 overall.
Okay, then I will help you.
Okay.
At the strong.
So you would roll 9 skill dice plus your stress die.
9 skill dice. Okay, yeah. Okay. I have 4 successes.
Awesome.
Didn't roll anything dumb.
So at that
Thank
point,
you.
you can burn
Yes,
your
thank
stunt
you.
die to.
Thank you for your service.
You can burn your stunt points to show off or to cut down the time it takes to repair things.
We'll make this go faster.
Yeah.
Must
So
go
Go
faster.
faster.
Must go faster.
in this case, you and Rye are performing so well, like a well-oiled machine. Remove this, insert this, screw this in, weld this here. You guys managed to carve off a good, call it 2.5 hours
So
off
I'm
of the
Pretty
estimated
good.
job.
So I go and check in on them and the cameras, and it's like I forget the name of this ballet's orchestral song. And they're just balleting, mechanic ballet through the thing. And I
Yeah, it's
watch
like,
them
and
and I chill out a little bit.
You're just out in here, and it's just moving. It's just moving very smoothly for you all. You're not running into any issues. As you are moving up, you are now at this point onto deck B. You have replaced all on deck C at this point, and you moved up to deck B when you received the page over the walkie.
Right. I'm not telling you to stop what you're doing, but afterwards, we might have found something that has some weapons in it. It's going to need a torch.
All right.
So just heads up. It's in the. Davis can show you on the map.
Got it.
I'm showing them what now?
The armory with the crayon eaters thing.
Crayon eater? Okay.
That's a choice of words.
Off
That's not
color.
a. Is that a racial slur? No, I don't know. We'll deal with this later. Okay.
It's
You
never
have to
old
pass-
slang for marine.
Okay, so it's an angry prejudice term, or it's an army prejudice thing. Okay, is the armory? I thought you got into the armory. What do you need a torch?
Oh, we found the armory and just about everything broken in it, other than the chief security officer deciding to piss all over his footlocker and weld it to the floor.
Okay, be careful opening that with fire.
Please, we know what we're doing.
Okay, I know you do.
We are professionals.
I know you
Why
do,
do you
right?
think I asked them?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll.
You trust me with
Yeah.
fire outside of my lighter? Come on now.
No, I do not. That's why I have a pistol, or I have the pistol. Anyway.
And the shotgun.
Do I have the shot? No, someone else has. I just have the pistol.
No, you have the shotgun. The captain handed it to you when she went to go get into Mother.
Oh, okay. GM, please give me the stats for the shotgun. So now I
Captain
have
doing
Vera and Cricket. Okay. Yeah, I got. When you're done with the air scrubbers, just let me know and I'll direct you. But it's pretty
Got
much
it.
just the room across on the other side of the ship from the hole in the ship.
Understood.
I mean, the
We're
hole
gonna go
in the
finish
ship,
this now?
Yeah, do that. Okay. Well, I mean, technically there are a lot of holes in the ship, but this one isn't supposed to be there.
Private
Actually,
message to Davis. I think we should stop bothering them.
yes, we should. Mostly because our lives depend on their work.
Yeah. So we're gonna come back now.
But we're all
Intentionally sabotages the ship. I'm just kidding.
well. Somebody is doing that already, so how would we know? Actually,
Well,
GM,
then at least it would be a known problem.
at least we'd know who to yell at instead of each other.
I'm gonna go off
GM?
columns. You
I'm
have to pass
listening.
a psych profile to be here, right? I'm looking over it right.
Sorry, what?
Say that again.
You have to pass a psyche eval, right, to be on here?
Yeah.
Ow.
If
And no, we're off comms. You can't hear us.
Yeah.
no, I'm just saying. I feel like the captain, just because she knows how good of a pilot Davis is, intentionally ignored that part of the application.
May not have been your choice.
ADHD makes good pilots, just we're not really good at any other time.
Yeah. Just like
GM,
look at Cham. Yeah.
so the-
I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna do my job and hope that it, gets us out of this, and then maybe we don't have to work with. Anyway.
Get us away from these people or die trying.
They were great to work with when we weren't in a life-threatening situation where we didn't know what was going on.
Were they though?
Weyland-Utoni hires the worst people. I hear Bionational's hiring, though.
Join the competition. I'm not entirely sure that's any better.
The other megacorp has its own brand of wage slaves.
Cute.
Has a higher standard of wage slavery. GM, while they're doing that, and the break alarm went off. So, but before we go on break, because I'll forget. Now I know the cameras are on. Can I take a look at the state of the hole in the side of the ship in the vac suit room, and just to see, like, I'm assuming it exploded from the inside out?
Yes.
Just want to take more of a look at that and see if I can divine anything. As someone who probably breaks things a lot.
From what you can see, it looks like it may have been done by a makeshift explosive that dealt significant damage to the wall and blew out the side of the wall. But it doesn't look like it was done with enough force that it had been like an actual designed explosive. It was something somebody may have thrown together. There are some scorch marks there, and as you're trying to look around, trying to figure out what's going on, you think you catch a faint glimpse of something just sort of whip past the hole.
Oh no. Oh no. Are there cameras outside the ship?
There are a few that are positioned near like points of major interest, like comms towers or something, or like by the loading docks, like or the connector ports, something like that.
I start looking through those cameras.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Nothing so
Blissfully
far.
walking back unaware.
Nothing so far. And as you and Wilson are walking back towards the bridge, and you and Cham and Rye are both working on the air scrubbers, there is a moment as you're all in the middle of working where you all hear a sounds like it's coming from in the walls. No, the ceiling. It in the vents.
Not my tech gremlins.
Hey guys, would it be possible for something to be walking on the outside of the ship?
Doubt it.
Just checking.
Define something.
I didn't get a good look at it, and then it you know, conveniently didn't walk into any of the outer cameras. But I just saw a whiff of it when I was looking at the hole in the side of the ship from the inside. What?
Is it coming up the hole where we are? Or through her?
Davis, you hear this very soft hissing sound coming from behind you. And that's where we're going to cut to break.
Oh, damn!
No!
You have the shotgun. You have the pistol.
I'm dual-wielding, motherfucker!
I might make the seat
No,
fly
you
back while
cannot
she's
dual-wield
doing
the
it.
shotgun. You cannot
No,
dual-wield
I
the shotgun. You need to two-hand that.
It's funny for the joke, but not realistic.
Yeah,
No.
with physics and what I know of guns.
All
no.
right, so on that note, chat, we're going to take a 10-minute break, and then I think my character is going to die. On the upside, as long as it's not attacking the people fixing the air scrubbers, the rest of us might live.
Captain doesn't like that. She's her crew.
This isn't Firefly. This is Alien.
Even then, I know. I'm yeah. This is
Yeah.
more Fennec being like, no.
Yeah.
My crew. No
No.
one gets to kill my crew but me.
And that's only if they break the coffee machine.
Which is ironic, since usually it's the captain that does that.
Yeah.
But Anyway, chat, so we're gonna go on break for 10 minutes, and then my character dies. So we'll see you in 10. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, chat. This is Magic Fish Radio, and we stream tabletop RPG stuff on Tuesday and Saturday nights, Eastern Standard Time. And when we last left our Alien the RPG Chariot of the Gods module, my character was probably about to die. But I do have both of the guns. So, well, I have both of the, like, standard guns that do
Well,
not...
now you can't die because then the enemy will have the guns.
Or destroy them.
With the claw things, I'm not sure the enemy could use the... Yeah, we did find all of those clawed guns. Yeah, oh no.
Which the captain's still carrying around like a barrel as a club.
Like a club.
It's the only weapon she got.
Anyway, chat, join our Discord to learn about more games, because I'd like to get my death over with. Maybe not. I would like to commence with this combat, because I was barely paying attention to the first one we did, because I was busy trying to fix the OBS window. Oops.
Right then. So, we are going to pick up. You hear this clicking, hissing noise coming from behind you, and as you turn, you see lowering itself head first from a vent that has opened in the ceiling of the bridge. This pale blue carapaced creature that has just a loose set of mouth and jaw that seem to extend from an almost armored head with rows of sharp pointed teeth and long clawed fingers.
I shoot it.
Okay, make me a ranged combat check.
I'll look at it more closely when it's dead. Okay.
That's smart. We like this logic.
Let me check my stats. Oh good, I have ranged combat of 2. Unless it's not far enough away for it to be ranged.
Really, the use of any firearm is ranged combat.
Awesome.
You would just suffer penalties if it were closer or further away than would be optimal for the weapon to be used.
Oh yeah, this kind of shotgun cannot be used for one-handed. Yeah. Okay.
No, it is. The Armat is not a one-handed shotgun, not by any stretch of the imagination.
And I would like to spend a story point for an automatic success? Or one success?
It's one automatic success.
Okay.
So, roll.
So the +2 remind me how weapons work again. So the +2 bonus is to the roll, or what?
The +2 bonus adds 2 die to your pool.
Okay, so 2.
And it has a base damage of 3.
Shoot it in the brain pan.
Assuming
Brain pan's about the only bit that's exposed at the moment.
Yep. Blow its head off. Okay, so that's agility is 5. Ranged combat is 2, +2 for the firearm.
Mm-hmm. Plus your stress die.
Plus my 2 stress. Mm-hmm. That is...
Again, don't forget, you can always push a roll, gaining another die of stress, but potentially rolling a better result.
Well, I'm currently rolling 11 dice.
I'm just reminding you that it's a mechanic.
Yeah. Okay. Shake, 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 shake.
In the face.
Wow.
In the face.
That doesn't sound good.
That's a whole lot of not 6s. How does pushing a roll work again?
You take all the die that didn't successfully roll,
That's all of the
You can
dice.
roll them again.
And I take another stress.
But the important question is, did you get any ones on your stress die?
No.
Then you're fine.
Okay.
Because if you roll even one on a stress die, you cannot push a roll.
Okay. So I push the roll, but it does give me an additional stress for all the following rolls.
Yes, you add 1 point of stress until you get a chance to work it off,
Yes.
which you have not had yet. And is really, I feel, a mechanic intended more for when you would be doing this in campaign rather than cinematic play, which I think we all agree this is much better suited to cinematic play than campaign.
Okay.
I don't know how you would do a long term.
Yeah, this would be really frustrating if you only succeed on a 6. That's rough. So good news is I have 2 more successes. The bad news is one of the stress die has a 1 on it.
Okay? Then roll me a d6 and tell me what you get. Or rather, roll a d6, add your number of stress die to it, and then let me know what that comes up.
Mm-hmm. I rolled a 1, so 1 plus 3. That's on updated stress. So that's my stress went up to 3 from pushing
Yes.
the roll. So that is 4.
Okay, then you are able to keep it together. You manage to you keep your nerves in check barely. And you otherwise scored
Boom.
2 successes, you said, plus your story point?
Yeah, so that's 3 altogether.
Okay.
Story point is
And
1
then
success, right? Yeah.
Yes. And then the shotgun itself does a damage of 3, so that is 6 points. Rolled against the armor of this creature and has an armor rating of 6.
Is not a baby.
It is not a baby. This is an adult that failed its armor check entirely,
Oh, thank
and
goodness.
it only has 6 health. So,
Go!
Miller, you and Wilson are about to enter back into the bridge when you hear the sound of a shotgun go off.
Ah!
Miller just starts booking it. She leaves Wilson behind, assuming he's gonna start going
Davis,
with her.
You, before even bothering to enter into the initiative I drew, just turned fired. And your buckshot tears through the top half of this creature and rips it apart, and this long, gangly blue body just falls from the vent and lands on the ground, its blood seeping out, popping, hissing, starting to eat through the floor of the bridge.
Oh god, it's acid blood. Okay.
Yep.
What
Yeah.
level am I on in the bridge?
The bridge is only 1 level on deck B.
On deck B?
So
Yes.
I think it goes like D, C, E, then, or am I misremembering?
A, B, C, D.
Okay.
A is where the mother unit is, and then directly below that is the bridge. Then below that was the reactor level, and below that was the loading dock where you all came in.
Okay, so there is this gonna cause another breach?
No, because there is a great deal of space down there,
Okay.
and you don't know how potent the acid is, but it is slowly eating through the floor of the bridge.
Okay.
So, Miller, you bust open the door and you run in with Wilson, and there is this thing sprawled out on the
Fuck, what is
floor,
that?
missing the top half of its face, but the back half of the armored carapace that comes out and spreads into a fin is there. This row of teeth here in its jaw, a couple of teeth missing, and it's laying there oozing this light green blood that is slowly popping and hissing into the ground.
She just kind of is like frozen like this because I assume she like scrambled to stop herself and is just like staring at the alien,
Yeah.
stares at Davis,
I still just,
stares at the alien.
I still just have the shotgun out. I'm just like making
The
sure
very-
it doesn't get back up.
Holds her hands up, just goes over very slowly and just
I
puts
put,
a hand
I put
and
the gun down.
pushed it down.
Just...
Good job. Deep breaths.
That was an incredible roll. That was an incredibly bad roll for the alien, and it worked out perfectly for you. I'm looking at its health rating of 6 right now, and I'm just like, well, shit.
Miller's gonna get on the comm. So, and she can see where it came through, right? Like
Oh yeah, the grate to the vent is just hanging open like this now.
Jam, Rye.
Yeah.
There are critters in the vents.
And
But
they-
define
Fuck off
critters.
teeth. And boiling blood. Or acid blood if the hole is anything to go by.
yeah, guys, get out of the air vents. We need to regroup.
Okay.
How close
got
were you to finishing?
Guns?
Is it how close were you to finishing?
Over the course of
sorry.
the time that's happened now, they need another, like, call it 20, 30 minutes.
All right.
I'm going to tell you that then. I'm going to say we have 20 or 30 minutes left.
Okay, but
Do you think we can?
we don't. I think you need to see what this is and then do risk assessment.
So
Because also it bleeds acid apparently.
Okay.
And yeah, so yeah, regroup. Yes.
right.
Where's Wilson?
But was right behind
Oh, there
Miller.
you are. Okay. Sorry, dude. Sorry.
Right.
Not
Just
okay.
two of you be careful. Watch
All
each
right.
other's backs.
Yeah, because I don't. This thing's crawling through the air vents. You guys are not safe.
Actually, as a fun point for your first encounter with the Neomorph, you, Miller, and Wilson all gain a point of stress because
So I'm
that
at
thing was
5.
Damn it! I'm at 4.
This is great.
Yikes.
Captain's just barely holding it together. She needs a cigarette.
You can't have one.
I know. She's gonna pinch her nose. It's like vents. Davis, can you track it? You just
I will try.
computer to
But-
see in the.
So when I was looking at the hole in the side of the ship, I saw something slip out of view before I could see it. So it's possible these things don't need air.
there was just like a little flick of something. It
Flick,
just sort of and then disappeared outside the edge of the hole.
like a flicky tail.
Okay.
Actually, kind of
there's-
looks a lot like that tail there.
Yeah, it looks like that. Okay, we don't know how
Okay.
many of these there are.
You just see. Okay. Try and sensors. See if you can turn them inside. See if you can't get anything's moving.
Do we have sensors, GM?
Not in the vent.
Not in the. We do not have sensors in the vents, Captain.
Captain. The science labs would contain investigative equipment even for when they're down on planets. There should be motion trackers in the science labs.
Bad idea.
I look at the cameras that go to the science labs.
Okay, the science lab is the science lab 1 and science lab 2 are both on deck B, not far from the
Okay.
med lab, as a matter of fact.
We were
You would
supposed
have
to go
to
there
cut
anyways.
Yeah. You also have to cut through the living area, which means that you could also stop by the captain's quarters if you really wanted to.
Okay.
I'm checking cameras on all of those places first to make sure there are no monsters there. But
Okay.
they might be in the vents.
Checking.
So...
Checking. That's a severed arm.
That's a sever? Okay.
Don't know where the rest of the body is, but that's a severed arm.
Is it a human arm or does it have claws?
It looks human.
Okay,
It looks human.
we'll deal with that issue later.
And scrolling through, and as you come to
Captain's just
As you-
pacing.
as you come to the living areas, you see a figure just sort of slowly lurching their way through.
Okay, is it figure?
Android?
Looks human, but they're walking very strangely. Like they may have suffered a head injury or have a damaged leg or both.
Can I scan, like, can I enlarge the image?
It's a little grainy if you've ever watched Alien or Aliens. You know,
Yeah.
Camera technology did not advance like it did in the real world. It is gritty. It's a little grainy. But there is a figure just sort of slowly loping its way through the hall outside the living quarters. Before you watch it, this figure slip on something and then just slam into the ground, and then slowly get back up and continue hobbling along.
What direction is it heading? Towards us or away from us?
They are currently walking just across the hallway of the living area, which runs from the port to starboard of the ship. So from left to right.
Okay. What the fuck is that? Is that, do you think that's the android?
It's possible. I mean,
Captain, what are the odds that the android, wants all this to continue and the monsters to have lunch?
at this point, who the fuck knows?
You watch as it gets to the elevator and starts slamming on the elevator call button.
I'm gonna not. Can I stop the elevator from here?
From here, you cannot. No. Actually, yeah, you could probably lock it off from the command station.
Click. Oh, I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so.
Slam it twice more, then the figure turns around and starts hobbling back down the hallway in the other direction.
I lock off the other elevator. Fuck this guy.
They eventually get to the other side and they slam on the elevator call button again. They turn around and they start hobbling back the other way.
Either way, Captain, this individual didn't do anything to help us since we've been here, so... And if it didn't have anything to hide, it would have at least asked us for repair help. So...
Best
If it
thing to do
is-
is take it out.
I mean, if we wish to avoid it, we could go back up to deck A, move down and take the... no. Bio-leak on deck A. We should go down to deck C, go around, and then take junction B up. And we completely circumvent it. It would take longer.
No, I don't...
But if we wish to avoid dealing with that figure, that would be the best way to go around it. Then
No,
just come up and enter the...
I have the opposite idea. I say capture and
Cap-
interrogate.
Captain's holding her hand out for the pistol. She's gonna take it out.
I hand her the pistol. Captain, I do vote. It's the only thing, like, if that was in the mother chamber when you needed to get in, then it might have a code to get in, like...
Try and bring it back.
How's it looking for Cham and I getting to the bridge?
I mean, you guys are going to finish up on deck A. With your suits, you could theoretically walk through that cloud of gunk without an issue. It's a mess up there.
But then you would have
but,
gunk on you.
Yeah.
Or you could climb back down to B and climb through the... Or theoretically, from deck A, you could also climb through the vents and then just climb down to deck B through the vents and get vent access near the bridge.
Davis, surprise!
But there's monsters
Yeah.
in the vents!
I'm a little nervous about the vents, but I also am more nervous about the absolute known evil of the gunk on deck A.
Yeah. We know the gunk is bad. We're not sure about the... We're not 100% sure about the android yet.
So, all right. Tech gremlins get back. Seal the doors till we get back.
No, I'm not staying here alone. Not again.
All right, then we'll wait for tech gremlins.
Unless Wilson's staying here, but he might need to grill the android for codes.
I could stay here to try and access the executive officer's files or the assigned corporate agent's files, which I might have an easier time doing from the corporate agent suite, which
is on deck B.
Yes, which is on the way to the living quarters, so I could follow you that far and then slide in there and do what I need to do, and maybe find out something useful, and maybe we solve this a little bit faster, or I can stay here and keep Davis company.
I don't want to be here. Like, I'm okay with us just going on an android hunt.
All right. So new plan then. Have them meet us in deck B.
You're on deck B. The bridge is on
No,
deck.
on deck B.
I mean
Yeah,
the tech
Yeah.
gremlins. So she'll
Code
let
monk?
the tech gremlins know we're going to hunt and meet us there.
All right.
Actually would be able to flank it.
We're
If one of
going
you
on
wants
an
to come around and
android
take the
hunt.
junction up on the other side, you could pierce it. Yeah. Unless you want to split up as you go down,
I
because
think
there
the
are two
idea was
hallways.
for us tech people to meet them via the other side of the room.
You could get in there. There is vent access by the elevator, so you could theoretically get in there. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Captain
Because-
takes point.
Because fuck this guy. That's why.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when one of them shoots one of us, it's probably going to be me.
We're aiming for the
Not.
android.
No, this is the off-com Cam and Rye conversation.
That's fair.
The
I
red
hope
dwarf
not,
moment.
but with your luck.
The red dwarf moment.
So I guess we stop by the Corpo's quarters first, if that's on the way,
Mm-hmm.
and let Wilson do their thing while standing guard at the door.
All right, just a moment. I'll get in here and thank God corporate does not change their passwords as often as they should.
Is it
Because-
today 1, 2, 3?
One, two, three,
No,
four, five,
no,
six.
but you know, thankfully this is made at a time where people didn't realize how important passwords would become to security, because this film was originally made in 1979. So he's sitting there for a while. He's reading through. All right. It appears that while investigating a form of alien plant life, they had accidentally released a biological agent, which had violent transformative effects on members of the crew, which resulted in them gestating and then releasing what they classified as a neomorph, or at least that's what the science team seemed to have given it as a working name. It was that blue thing.
Wait,
that,
gestating? So that wasn't a mutated human.
No, that developed inside them and then burst its way out from their. Oh my! Oh,
Ew.
it burst its way out from their faces. It's this security footage is hard to watch.
Okay,
We believe you.
skip past
We
it.
believe you.
Just copy relevant data into a pad and give it over.
The medical team. They developed an inoculation against the particles that cause this. There's still some doses in the med lab.
Great.
Okay.
Copy down what you found, hand it over, and we'll go there next.
Yes. The med lab is just beyond the living area by the science lab. Right. Yes, excellent. And he pulls out his his data slab, and he goes, "That's everything that I could copy from here."
Pockets it. Hey, she's operating under the assumption we're getting out. That's valuable.
Yeah.
Right. So, Android or whatever the fuck this fucker is, and then inoculation for everybody. Assuming a few means 5.
Wait, then how did those things get into the suits if they're... I'm so confused. Anyway, yeah.
I'm assuming there's going to be more data in the medical and the science areas.
All right, so Cham and Rye, you eventually finish putting in the scrubbers, but the filtration system is not turned back on yet because, as I recall, no one stayed on the bridge. So you all make your way through the vents. Where do you want to try and come out? Or do you guys want to try and split up and flank the individual yourselves, maybe coming in from the port and starboard sides? Or do the two of you want to emerge together?
It's not like he can run.
I don't know. I feel like flanking is probably a good idea, though, just in case he can.
Is Cozumel, Mexico off of my list of places to emerge from the vents? I would really like
Stumbled
to.
through a wormhole, which shouldn't have been possible until Aliens 5, but...
I
Otherwise,
have some
I'll-
concerns about this franchise.
Wait, there was an Aliens 5?
No.
No.
Technically,
Isn't
no,
that Prometheus?
Prometheus are
technically?
prequels.
yeah, it's the 5th movie released.
Oh,
But
okay. Yeah.
you also have to remember there's also technically Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator 2.
True.
I've never understood that shared universe. It makes sense when they're not.
Well, here's the thing. The Alien vs. Predator shared universe made sense before Prometheus, and is
Yeah.
still canon to the Predator timeline, but is no longer canon to the Alien timeline because Prometheus.
This is why we
Because-
shouldn't watch movies anymore.
I'll go wherever Rye wants to go. I got nothing.
Okay, well, I want to flank it just in case. Have a little more coverage on the space.
Okay, so you guys are in the air scrubber shaft, which is pretty much the center of the ship that goes straight down until just above deck D. So you can split up going left and right and then try to come in from 2 different entrances by the elevators, while the rest of you come in from one of the hallway doors. All right, so Miller, Davis, and Wilson, you approach the door leading into the hallway that connects all of the living habitats, aside from the corporate suite, because corporate. And you stand there ready at the door. Do you enter?
Miller's gonna wait for like Davis and Wilson to kind of like get flanked where they need to go, and then she'll make it very obvious. And at this point, she's assuming tech gremlins are about ready to meet up with them, and we'll get the idea about seeing where the others are and kind of form a
Okay.
circle of death.
Okay, so you wanted Davis and Wilson to come in through the other north-facing door from the other hallway.
It makes
Okay.
the most sense tactically.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you are all there. Jam, Rye, are you reporting yourselves in position?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Miller, Davis, breach.
All right. Miller steps forward. Hey, fucker.
And this figure turns around, and their clothing is torn, and they are covered in this thick white viscous goo, which you know is synthetic blood.
Okay. I was like,
Half-
ooh.
Half of the fake flesh on their face is torn away, and the one exposed optic is currently hanging out by some cables. Oh, hello. My name is Ava 6. I do not recognize you as a member of the crew. have you come to save us?
Now Fennec feels bad. Miller's just gonna like level the pistol. What happened?
There was a biocontamination breach, and the crew was infected. I have attempted to maintain the ship in the intervening time, but the creatures have caused some difficulties.
Do you know how many there are?
Unknown, was offline until just recently when auxiliary power came back online and recharged. Systems not at peak.
How long were your systems shut off?
Internal clock damaged. What is the year?
It's like what, 20?
Today is 2183.
2183.
I have been offline for 72 years, 11 months, and 14 days.
She'll slowly lower the pistol. So you just woke up when we got the signal.
I would like to insight check the robot. I don't know if that's a thing I can do, but we'll try it. I'm not generally against androids, but this is fucked up.
Actually, okay, let me rephrase that. She lowers it enough to where it's like chest level on the android, no longer like pointing in their face. Like it's not. Yeah.
I will accept either a wits observation or empathy manipulation check.
Wits observation is a better roll, so. And plus my 4 stress dice. Okay, so.
You're less stressed than your captain.
4. And you technically haven't seen one of these things yet.
Oh no, I have.
Except
I
he
saw
was
the
dead.
corpse.
Yeah, you saw the dead one. That is 1 success and a 1 on a stress dice.
Roll me a d6 and add your stress die together.
Um, 5 plus stress dice is 9.
Ooh. We're doing great, you guys.
Ooh.
I have a mental meltdown trying to understand what the android is saying.
You have your shotgun in your hand, correct? Because you gave the pistol to the captain?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Please don't shoot me.
So you're...
I don't think it's you I'm gonna shoot in this instance.
I'm right up, like, point blank range.
You're standing there, gun held. You're not sure if this android's telling the truth. It's not clear. And even if it was telling the truth, there's no way of knowing how many of these things there are. There could be another 9, 10 of these things maybe. There's no way to be sure. There's no way to be sure. What the fuck was that? And as you spin around, you wind up losing grip of the shotgun, and it flies out of your hand and clatters to the floor on the other side of the hallway.
Yeah!
Are you all right? May I offer assistance?
No thanks.
Again, just turns around with half their face gone, the one eye clinking against their metal cheek.
I'm gonna go get my gun back.
Have they told us it's clear yet, or are we just sort of waiting here to pounce?
She'll like kind of motion everybody forward, like, but like hold up a hand, like don't attack. Just
I don't think we can see you.
Oh.
Yeah, we're in the vents waiting to pop out, as that was what we were told to do.
Well,
Right.
you hear the noise of a gun hitting the ground, so...
So yeah, I mean, at this point, what would your guys' characters do if they heard the gun fall?
Probably wait until I have a very clear signal that this is fine.
I go get my gun back.
So Miller's gonna wait for Davis to get her gun, and she's gonna look at the android. You want to help?
That is my primary mission, to aid and serve.
Great.
Yeah, but
You're
Aiden
gonna
serve who?
walk in front of us, and you're gonna open up the science lab, and you're gonna get us the motion detectors. Can you do that?
I can do that.
Good.
But my one arm is not functional. I would need assistance to carry them.
Right. I'll be right behind you. Just like the rest of my team's gonna be behind me. That's kind of her silent signal. If there is shit in there, shut the doors and run. Because if she's gonna go in, she's gonna also try and get as much information that she can from the computers and everything. So she motions with the gun for the android to start walking, and she'll go behind her with the gun pointed about shoulder blade height, just to be on the safe side.
Wow, you really distrust this android.
Their name is not Klaus.
Wow, thank you. Trustworthy.
Or
apparently.
Bishop. Their name is also not Bishop.
So
I forget
yeah.
what the name of Winona Ryder's synthetic was in Resurrection. But those are really the only synthetics you can trust in the Alien franchise.
Or River Tam's synthetic from the Terminator.
You could trust the one. You could trust the android in the second Aliens movie, but not the guy that showed up with the same face who was actually a human.
Yeah, in Alien 3. Yes,
Alien
no,
3.
but that was Bishop and Alien. That was Bishop and Aliens.
That's right.
Is Alien 3 the one where Ron Perlman kisses his fellow pilot?
No, that's
It's
4.
Resurrection.
Okay.
Alien Resurrection, the
That's
fourth
cool.
film. Alien 3 is the one that takes place on the prison planet, and
Yeah.
their first attempt at CGing as Xenomorph that didn't work out well because the tech had not advanced enough.
I couldn't remember which one had Ron Perlman doing a kiss. Anyways,
Ron-
moving
Ron
on.
Repeat my
Perlman.
earlier statement. I have some concerns about this franchise. Anyway.
What's funny is Aliens 4 is probably Firefly Episode 0. Especially since it's also Joss Whedon playing pirates in space.
And very
very sexist and awful stuff because it's Joss Whedon.
very baby in terms of who kisses. Anyways, we're not getting into that. We're gonna go to the science lab.
Anyway, back to Carnage.
Back to dying.
If at all possible, in the science lab, repairs could be done on me so that I could be more effective.
Right. First things first, we're gonna get the motion detectors. Then we'll see about fixing you up.
Clomp, 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 clomp.
Yeah, because
Tries
you're not
to-
gonna stay fixed if we don't know how many monsters there are trying to tear you
Tries
back.
to slam on the command console to get the door open. Would you kindly, please?
Kindly obey. Slide.
You hit the button, the door opens. They hobble along. They lead down through the living areas, down the one hallway that passes by the door to the med lab, and then would lead to the hallway that goes to the science sector. While you all do that, how about I step into the med lab and acquire the inoculations?
Can Miller subtly eye her crew and ask kind of one of them to go with
Yeah, I'll go with Wilson.
Okay.
Because yeah, she
Because the android
Don't
is
give me-
freaking her out, and it's like corporate drone versus robot drone.
Actual drone.
Uh,
I mean, technically, they're both corporate drones when you think about it.
technically.
okay, flesh drone, semi-flesh drone.
I mean, we assume he's flesh. Have we really checked? And have you seen Blade Runner? Like, androids are absolutely obsessed with pets.
Okay,
Well, actually, the
this is
first
not-
Blade Runner. I didn't see the second one because.
Listen, my character stress is already at a 5. Mine is getting there. I don't need paranoia added to it.
I'm gonna go with the Wilson.
This is Alien, so it's
This is
appropriate.
fair. But yeah, no.
So
Miller's thinking is Wilson's gonna take it and run, so she doesn't want it.
Yeah. I'm also
so
down. Yeah.
Wilson and Davis step into the med lab while the rest of you go down and hook the left into the science sector, passing the entrance to Junction B2, and you have Science Lab 1 and Science Lab 2 on your right.
Okay.
Science Lab 2, being the larger of the science labs, also contains the majority of the equipment for when you're moving on to field operations. So the doors are open, you step inside, and this place is a wreck. Things definitely went wrong here. And that body in the corner has no face. Cool.
Body?
Well, having no
Awesome.
face, probably.
Is this the science lab or the med lab?
This is the science
Science.
lab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So does the body with no face like look like they've started to
No, you're
Smeatsy?
imagining this is one of the ones that resulted in the blue neomorph that Davis blew the head off of,
Okay.
because they emerged from the face.
Face.
They gathered in the head. The report said that the people suffering from those infections had such intense migraines, and then there's just
Like they were trying to birth Aphrodite. Got it.
Athena.
yeah, and then
Athena.
I know
It
what
was
you
one of the A ones.
Aphrodite
I-
came from casting someone's
The
balls
seed
into
bone
this.
and yeah.
and but yeah, then according to Wilson, who was the only one watching the video, is that these things gestated in the brain and then went.
As someone who suffers from migraines, thank you for the new paranoia.
Yeah.
You're gonna be afraid your whole life now.
I mean,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
what's in the book in the movie? What do you want me to tell you? It's not like I made this
Oh
up.
wait.
I'm just being silly.
So this is also a Prometheus version alien.
These are the neomorphs.
The
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
When they
So
Yeah.
when the aliens were still workshopping their stuff.
their
When
birthing
David
method.
6 was working on making the Xenomorph. God, that was so-
Oh god, that movie hurts my brain. Moving on.
I watched YouTube videos about the movies just because I was like, what the fuck? Okay.
They're
You spared yourself.
The xenomorphs were still workshopping.
the Xenomorphs were an unintended experiment that came into existence. But that's 6 1/2 dozen of the other right now.
Anyway.
Because now your asses are in the science lab and you're able to, like, this place is a wreck, but you're able to find 2 motion trackers.
Cool. She's gonna hand them to Ryan Sham. Or yeah, Ryan Sham. I don't know why I thought I said Ryan.
I mean, that's just their team name. Ryan, get up here. I need work done.
I'm sure she's done it in like a very sleep-induced fog and pointing to the smoking
Yeah.
coffee machine.
Ryam is their ship name.
No.
Their bro ship name.
But bum.
Right. So she hands them one each, then looks around for the repair pod.
Do you want me to try to take care of the repairs? I feel like I have the skill set for that.
Yes.
Trade you?
Yeah. She'll take the thingy and go, is there a computer that's not super damaged?
Yeah, you can access some of the computers here, but the repair equipment for Ava 6 will be in Science Lab 1 across the hall.
Okay. Right, Sham, you go get this, I don't know, her fixed.
Got it.
I'm gonna see what I can get off of these because the chance that we get off this fucking piece of shit, I want us all to get paid and never have to deal with this shit again.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So, split up, starts tipper tapping it, using her captain's code to override, I'm assuming, science crew access.
Okay. So you start finding all the records of the things they researched, the planets they went to, and then they start noticing, and the records are all talking about there when things went wrong. So and so had a breach in his shoe, started complaining about migraines. He began reacting violently. Things happened. There was a scuffle. Sample containers were broken. Things were attacked. He was shot by a security team, and then as he was laying there on the floor, dead, his face burst off, and the first of these things were released. People had no idea what to do. They were firing guns. People were injured as this thing disappeared into the vents. And as you can imagine, things only got progressively worse from there until the chief science officer and the chief medical officer developed an inoculation against the spores that were now running rampant on the ship.
Does the record say how many? Of like the inoculation.
There is no record of that given there. That would have been located in the med lab.
Okay. She will download any pertinent information like species specs, length of incubation, like how long from point of, well, even then that's not guaranteed because the person fell into other beakers, so that could have excelled. Anyways, point is that she's going to try and get all the relevant data that she can.
Find out how many people had their faces explode.
That too.
Yeah.
Give us a general estimate.
From what you can see, there was apparently 2 sets of outbreak from what could be seen briefly, though the reports just sort of taper off around the first notification of the second type of infection, which you assume resulted in the pasty creature that Ryan Cham had encountered.
Okay. So they all oh goody, they evolved like a really bad Pokemon. This is great.
Or it's 2 different infections.
So it's a knockoff of Digimon and Pokemon. Got it.
The
Omicron.
You are counting 8 counts of the quote unquote neomorph outbreaks. And then
8, but we have no way of telling if the 5 in the pods are infected.
They were inoculated, so
they can't.
The rest of the crew either further devolved or were killed in the intervening outbreak.
Okay, so we said originally there was 30, right?
This ship can have a maximum of 30,
17.
but when it was last recorded as leaving, there were 17.
Okay,
17.
So 8 outbreak. So that brings us down to 17 from 8. I can't do the math in my head.
9.
5 inoculated. That leaves 4 possibly murdered or turned into incubators. So potentially we have anywhere from, well, we killed 2.
Yeah.
So we have anywhere from 6 to 10 running. This would be her estimation in her head, about 6 to 10.
Well, there's 3 of the pasty ones running around, and there's probably 7 of the others running around. If they're of the different types, because they said there were 8 of the face bursters.
Yeah, true.
So there's 7 of those left, probably, and there's probably 3 or 4 of the other things running around.
Okay. Got it. So when she copies down as she's copying down all the information, she's going to relay what she's learned to everybody. Okay. Click on the thing while she's waiting for the information to download to try and keep herself,
Okay. We'll cut over to the science lab, then the med bay, and that should be about time for us to end for this week. We enter into the science lab 1, where Rye and Cham, did you join?
Yeah.
Okay. I will need a heavy machinery check in order to make the various repairs required for Ava 6.
Okay.
So again, if Cham is assisting you, you can do that heavy machinery check with a +1.
Cool.
Sure.
That is 2 successes.
Okay. Okay. So with 2 successes, you are able to get the repairs done. It's going to take a while. Miller is finished well before you are, and even though they had to download a lot of data, you had to actually detach and replace a lot of parts. You can't get synthetic flesh on right now, but you
That's
can.
just going to be a loss on that one then.
Yeah. The one eye sensor is completely shot. It needed to be replaced. But you're able to get Ava 6 into an operational state with some partially exposed T2 vibes going on. After about, with the 2 of you working together, about 45 minutes to an hour's worth of work.
You have a potential ally.
Yeah.
Unless
Meanwhile-
they're the ones that unless they're the one that blew up our ship.
Meanwhile-
Potential.
In the med lab, we have Wilson, who is currently digging around looking for the various inoculations that might still be there. Within the med lab itself, you find there are several medical pods intended for various surgeries and whatever medical procedures may have been required over the course of extended space travel. You notice that while 2 of the 4 pods are open, 2 of them are sealed. And Wilson is currently duplicating data off of the computers while he's looking for the inoculations.
Okay.
Good boy.
On the sealed ones, is there anything like a information panel that just says, there's a person in here?
One of them says that it contains potentially infected remains.
Okay, stay away from that one.
The other one says emergency surgery in progress.
Probably not anymore.
Okay. Well,
Wasn't it? So wait, if I'm understanding how the ship works correctly, the backup power to keep the beacon going potentially could have kept the surgery
No,
person.
these would have
Okay.
had to have kicked on recently.
yeah.
Within the past several hours since you got on the ship
So
Okay.
and got the reactor running.
Okay.
So the person would. Okay, so the surgery would have been unsuccessful.
So maybe there's a 6th alive person, but maybe not inoculated. And maybe not human anymore, but we'll see. We'll just leave them in there.
They are taking nap. The sign says "Do not disturb." We go away.
Wilson takes the case with the inoculations, of which he was able to find 7 samples.
Okay.
Woohoo!
And he finishes copying down the medical data, and he gets up, and as he's heading towards the door, he goes, Davis, would you check over there for some other medical supplies or first aid kits? My hands are a bit full at the moment.
Okay, how about you go first?
But,
Just to
all
take,
right.
you just take a good look, and then point, direct me on what to take.
For God's sake. As he's trying to adjust the tablets he has and everything else, it's like, look, I just need you to look in that cabinet right there. Oh, Jesus. Look, I'm not asking for your gun, and I'm not stupid enough to run around here unarmed.
Okay, she's gonna tap on the cabinet real quick and just tap.
Yeah, just a cabinet.
Mm.
She's going to use the butt of her rifle and stand back. Actually, no, she's gonna use the nose of the rifle, hand not on trigger, and open it that way and stand back because
You open up the cabinet and there's various medical supplies inside: antiseptics, painkillers, bandages, emergency synthetic flesh grafts for having to seal over wounds.
All right. I have my gun out. I turn back to Wilson. Do you see a... Do they have, like, you know, kits or boxes or bags?
There's a couple empty duffel bags on the bottom for you to load with stuff.
Alright. Alright, then she's going to start doing this one-handed, because she's not putting her gun down.
Smart.
Why? Emergency surgery complete.
No, we just run. We just run. We leave. We will go outside. No, we're not staying. Where do you go? Grab it. Let's go. Let's go. We'll look at it on the cameras. And then we lock the door behind us.
You run out, you slam the door, and as the doors are closing, you see something start to climb out as the doors slam shut.
No.
Pretty sure it's Mama.
Captain, there's another one.
Okay, meet back at Science Lab 1.
And that's game.
No, that's not game.
Oh, goddamn.
What's game is after Miller says, meet at Science Lab 1, 2 motion detectors start going off.
For me or for them?
Well, you have one and Cham has one.
Which direction is it coming?
Blum, 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 blum,
Only
blum.
favorite right. This damn thing's on the fritz. It says it's movement.
Is there?
According to the motion trackers, movement is coming within range, and they appear to be coming from. By this point, you've come into Science Lab 1 while they're finishing up repairs on Ava 6, and you've got notifications that it looks like something is coming from the far back of the ship that is now moving in closer towards your section, and you count 3.
You know, we should really turn the air back on.
And this is where we're going to end game for the week.
Yeah.
Well, chat, so you'll watch us die next week.
Yeah.
Maybe, possibly.
I'm still at 1 health.
Oh.
Yeah, and they left the medical supplies.
Yeah.
No,
I'm sorry, there was a Borg Queen. Not Borg Queen. I'm sorry, a monster came out of emergency.
On your, doing it.
I tucked a few things away. Probably not enough, but you know, I'm not going back in there. Is there only one med lab?
Yeah.
The med labs and the med pod were just that one section, yes. There's a few more emergency medical kits throughout the ship, but like
You'd
the
actually
good
have to
shit was all in
explore
there.
the ship.
Also, I don't think we've gotten any of our resource boosts, and thus far we've got 4.
Yeah, because you haven't cut open the case where the weapons are, and you left the medical stuff behind.
I have been trolling along, holding it awry.
Okay, to be fair about the weapons, the captain's kind of been pulling the tech gremlins every other way instead of letting them get their job done. So that's on the captain.
It's like, hey, could you go stand in this hallway for us and be scary? I suppose. That's not our thing.
Anyway, chat, that's Alien the RPG for the night. Chariot of the Gods. Red Dwarf meets Aliens 5. Or something.
We're not dead. We made it. I'm surprised. I figured at least we'd have a death in episode. So we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Other than Lily.
I almost died 30 seconds into this thing when that alien jumped on me.
Almost, but you did not.
So we're doing good.
So yeah,
Oh
chat.
no.
What?
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Has Champ been having headaches?
No.
He never took his suit off.
I got holes put in it by an alien, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Remains to be seen next week, I guess.
Well, let's
Like,
see how
I got
quickly-
hugged pretty hard by that thing.
Let's see how.
Don't worry, the inoculations are on the way.
Sorry for the very loud screech noise into the mic.
It's that kind of stream. It's fine.
That's all right.
It's on brand for this game. So chat, thanks for hanging out with us tonight on this very stressful game where we have to expect failure at some point or all points. This is Magic Fish Radio. We stream tabletop RPGs on Tuesday and Saturday nights. And so this was episode 2 of 4. We have 2 more episodes of this, and then John will run 4 episodes of G.I. Joe in the Essence 20 system, maybe with less death, but we'll see. I haven't played much Essence 20 yet. I don't know how it works.
I'm going to say this much. The Essence 20 games are written under the assumption they'll be taking place in the 80s and 90s eras of these television shows where you're not killed, you're defeated. You're knocked out of your power state in Power Rangers, or you're knocked unconscious or injured in G.I. Joe or Transformers. No.
Also, I take it you can get a success on something other than a 20. Which is not how this game works.
But we'll be playing based on the comic book rules. Meaning, oh yeah, your asses can die.
Well, wasn't the G.I. Joe animated movie, what's his face, like, pretty much almost died to the last 5 minutes?
Yes, but that's because they changed that with voiceover in the last couple of minutes because of the extremely negative fan reception to Optimus Prime's death in Transformers the Motion Picture.
Yes, because Optimus died for our sins.
He did. And that is what we celebrate on Prime Day.
Blessed be Prime.
Blessed be the last of the primes. What about Rodimus? Blessed be the last of the primes.
Anyway, chat, if you're interested in playing in G.I. Joe or after that Anime 5e, that we're doing a nice series of campaigns that John has wanted to run forever. In probably 6 of 4 games. We were playing V5 for a while. If you want to see the VODs, they're on our YouTube channel and on Twitch. We played that for a while, but this was
delightful.
Yes. Thank you. This was the point of this time slot, was a series of wacky games that we have probably not played before, and short-term campaigns.
Yeah, and don't worry, Hunter will work its way in here once it releases, and Werewolf 5th edition will also probably work in here once it releases. And Transformers will show up here because I am a TF fan and I have wanted to run a Transformers game for ages.
Yes. Fadier suggested we try to get Christian Doyle to guest star as Cobra Commander, but I don't think we can afford him, as we can't pay any of our performers or GMs on this channel, or the producer. There is no money here.
Yeah, I thought I was paying you all my soul.
You're paying us in your time.
Yeah.
We're paying you in ours. It's an
paying
exchange.
In your time and the stress and the paranoia.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And, hey, look, it actually, what I was about to say here, resulting in, hey, it could be worse. A thing could be growing in your brain waiting to just stay out your face. That being said, thank you all for joining us. Fun reminder, if you yourselves are interested in playing the Alien role-playing game, something to bear in mind is that while there are stats for neomorphs and xenomorphs found in the core rulebook, the 2 adventure modules, Chariot of the Gods and Destroyer of Worlds, include additional monsters that are unique to those adventures, but if you wish to use them, their stats are only in those books, not in the core book, because they were presumably came up with later and then put into the adventures. So if you would like, they are there, and the abominations are fun. That's all I'm going to say about that. As for Destroyer of Worlds, which is a fun-looking adventure, and I look forward to running that at one point, all I have to say to you is that there is an enemy called Body Bursters. So...
I need to sleep tonight, John.
Anyway,
you shall never sleep again.
Yes, again, thank you for watching Magic Fish Radio. I hope you sleep well tonight, because we might not. We do tabletop RPG. Yeah, we do streams. Saturday night is my game, my ongoing 2-year campaign of New World of Darkness in Space, where it's the 4 main NWAD splats having wacky adventures across space and dimensions and an underground railroad that gets supernats out of systems that hate them and into ones that don't. So currently our party has to figure out a way to evacuate several thousand supernats from a refugee planet.
It is very fun, but we have to fix hole in planet first by beating shit up.
And there's a hole on another planet in the system that a wound, it's a whole thing. But this game makes no sense, but it's fun.
Yeah, that is a lot of fun.
It is fine. I have Kavas.
So, yes.
All right, then. So let's run through the outros real quick, because some of us have work tomorrow.
Yes.
Fuck.
So, yes.
I have that thing.
I'm the producer.
Dracus, if you...
I'm at Ms. Chrysula, and I am applying and auditioning to be in other stuff, so see at Ms. Chrysula on Twitter for whatever that is. Also, join our Discord. Join the Discord. Join the Discord. Because I know nothing I'm saying is making any sense right now.
And continuing to roll things back counterclockwise. No, actually, it will be clockwise at this point. Zardoz, if you would.
I am Zardoz, at Once and Future Doctor on Twitter. I write role-playing games part of the time. I'm very tired. It's been a long month.
Amen.
I tried to provide the rejuvenation needed.
It's only June 7th.
I am the comic relief on this particular episode. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Ms. Fennec, if you would.
Yo, what's up, cool? Okay, I'm not doing that. I'm Fennec. I don't know what
It's
I'm
your
doing
boy!
Broke the GM with 30 seconds left.
Come in breaking the GM. I go out breaking the GM. That's just my style. But, you know, flesh crafting Samit say DJs apparently too. Yeah, anyways. Anyways, I'm Fennec. You can find me at the Fennec Wolf on just about everything. I'm here on Tuesdays and Saturdays until these lovely people kick me out. And then you can also find me at Nerdsmith doing stuff over there, because, yeah. And other things that are coming up but haven't been recorded or done yet, but they're happening. Woo!
Dracus.
Hi, I'm Dracus. You can find me here next week and not again until July, but you know, it'll be great. Yeah, I exist on Discord. That's that.
I am forgiving your absence because you're going to go be having fun at Gen Con and stuff.
That's later in the summer, but yeah.
Yeah, that's August.
I can't remember.
And that's only
I'm just going on mundane vacation.
Oh, well, fine. That's acceptable.
Have fun on mundane vacation.
Don't go in the hedge.
I make no guarantees. I think we're in more trouble about my pirate captain D&D character going apeshit when I see the actual ocean.
I mean, fun.
Not going into the hedge is offensive.
Listen, I am allowed to say don't go in the hedge, all right?
It's fenced in. Alright, so we're gonna raid Perception Studios. Yeah, if you can't tell, we like puns here, and we're not gonna apologize, and you could just stop watching with, you know, the 5 billion other people that don't watch our channel. We
We're
pun
adults.
here, you deal with it, or go watch something else. We are, speaking of puns, we're gonna raid Perception Studio. They are running some form of Salin's Legacy tonight, except the campaign that was originally one party, like a normal D&D game, is now like 3 different parties, and they do different groups on different weeks, and there's a lot going on.
Sounds like a West Marches game.
I was going to say West Marches. That's fun.
I
And
don't know what that
chaotic.
means.
We'll explain after.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get ready to raid.
John needs to sleep after I broke his
Yes.
brain.
And I have stuff to do hopefully early tomorrow. So chat, again, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I hope we gave you adequate, ridiculous Red Dwarf meets aliens distractions for an evening. The VODs will be on YouTube and Twitch. And until we see you next time, please take care of yourselves, please take care of each other, and please diablerize responsibly.